The age of popular song. We start with Enrico Caruso. Obviously, he's well known as an operatic tenor, but he recorded over 260 albums at the start of the recorded age. And while a lot of those were operatic arias, he sang a lot and recorded a lot of popular songs in the early days of America's recorded industry. Some of those were in English, although his English leaves a little bit to be desired, if I'm being honest. Really hard to make out. Here I have an excerpt of him singing George M. Cohan's song, Over There, which was a big hit with the early American troops back in World War I.
Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Back in on the run, on the run, on the run. You am calling you and me, every son of liberty. Hurry right away, not delay, go today. Make your daddy glad who have had such a lad. Tell your sweetheart not to pine, to be proud their boys in line. Over there, send the water over there. That the boys are coming, the boys are coming, the run coming everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the water to beware. We'll be over, we are coming over, and we won't come back till he's over there.
Eduardo Migliaccio is better known by his stage name Farfariello, which translates as Little Butterfly. Caruso was on the operatic stage, but Farfariello was on the smaller stages of New York's Little Italy and in the cafes. And indeed, Italian immigrant musicians at that time period, especially in New York's Little Italy, were everywhere. Mostly singing a lot of the music they had brought over from Italy, and a lot of those songs were in Italian. But he was definitely one of the most recognized names during that time. He even recorded 126 songs between 1907 and 1935, gaining him quite a lot of stardom back in those days. Griselda Andreatini, better known by her stage name, Gilda Mignonette, she became an international superstar in her own right. She brought the Neapolitan song tradition over from Italy, and she made her mark in the cafe scene and on the small concert stages of New York City. Tin Pan Alley. If you don't know exactly what Tin Pan Alley is, Tin Pan Alley was literally a street in New York City where all the music publishers were housed. And it was notable because all these songwriters who wanted to get their songs published would set up shop right outside of these publishers with pianos and instruments. And so this whole corridor in New York became, it just wafted with music coming out of every corner and every alley, and basically became known as Tin Pan Alley. One of the foremost composers during that time period was Piantadosi. He was a composer, but also one of the main music publishers in Tin Pan Alley during that time. We're going to listen to an excerpt of one of his songs, although he didn't compose this song, he merely wrote the lyrics to it. But it's got a little bit of a personal connection for me. The woman's name in the song is Rosemary. My mother's name is Rosemary. And a year and a half ago, sadly, my mother passed away. So when I hear this song, I am flooded with memories of my mother.
I'm sad when I think of my Rosemary. Sometimes I think my heart will break in two. I leave her back home out in Italy, where sunshine is bright and skies are always blue. Beneath the soft Italian moon, birds are singing, love they're bringing soon. On the shores of Italy, there my sweetheart waits for say, baby, come back to me, and I'll take the ship someday. Then I'll sail far, far away. Oh, my Marie, your face I see is calling me on the shore of Italy.
Harry Warren, birth name Salvatore Girana. He is one of the foremost American songwriters, primarily for film. He was nominated for 11 Academy Awards. He won 3 of them. Over 6 decades, he wrote over 800 songs, including the first American blockbuster film musical.
Those dancing feet on the avenue, I'm taking you to 42nd Street. And the beat of dancing feet is the song I love, the melody of 42nd Street. Little ladies from the city, innocent and sweet. Sexy ladies from the 80s who are in the street. The rain goes on for years. Here's your answer, the young man that lives. Naughty, 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 swatty, naughty, and
Dominic Lucanese, better known as Nick Luca. He branded himself as the crooning troubadour. It was the first time that anybody had attached the word crooner to any singer. He was, in his lifetime, more noted as a singer. However, he was a super accomplished guitar player, to the extent that he published not one but many, many, many guitar method books in his day.
No need explaining, the one remaining is someone that I adore. I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover that I overlooked before. No need explaining, the one remaining is somebody I adore. I'm looking over a pretty little 4-leaf clover that I overlooked before. Tiptoe to the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Tiptoe from your pillow to the shadow of a willow tree, and tiptoe through the tulips with me.
Jimmy Durante, I'm not sure, is really in the crooner category. I think he's more appropriately just an entertainer. But he sang and put his Italian heritage into his music. Following Jimmy Durante will be Russ Columbo. Russ Columbo was known as the radio's Valentino. Russ Columbo's big signature hit was You Call It Madness, but I call it love.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile. Through your fear and sorrow, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness, although a tear may be ever so near. That's the time you must keep on trying, smile. What's the use of crying? You find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
I can't forget the night I met you. That's all I'm dreaming of. And you call it madness. Ah, but I call it love. I keep repeating, my heart is beating for you constantly. You're all I'm needing, and so I'm pleading, please come back to me. You made a plaything out of romance. What do you know of love? And you called it madness. Ah, but I call it love.
Frank. When I was growing up as a teenager in New Jersey, it was the time of free-range childhood. And late at night, it wasn't uncommon to be like midnight or 1 a.m., and we'd find ourselves at an Italian New Jersey diner. I don't know why, but I just fell in love with Sinatra back in high school, and those diners back east all had those little jukeboxes on the wall, and so I would just shove quarters in and, play every Sinatra song that they had listed. And so that's my memory of really getting acquainted with Frank Sinatra. I have a long laundry list of all of his accomplishments, but for the sake of time, I'm going to skip them because I think most of you probably know Frank. You probably could guess his accomplishments, one of the greatest singers of all time.
Night and day, you are the one. Only you beneath the moon and under the sun. Whether near to me or far, it's no matter, darling, where you are, I think of you. Day and night. Fly me to the moon. Let me play up there with those stars. Let me see what life is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not the right to say the things he feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way.
It's up to you, New York, New York, New York.
The 1940s and 50s saw tons of crooners, but the vast majority of them were Italian-American. They dominated the scene, and they had a huge influence. Mario Lanza, Perry Como, Julius La Rosa, Vic Damone, Jimmy Rosselli, the legendary Tony Bennett, Jerry Vale, Buddy Greco, Al Mortino, Lou Monte, Frankie Lane, Vic Dana, and of course the king of cool, Dean Martin. I've chosen, I think, 7 of them to give short excerpts of some songs. Some of these are their iconic hits. Some of these songs are personal to me. I've programmed them with my students over the years, or I just have a connection to some of the music. We ended with Sinatra singing New York, New York, and I want to bring it back home to Seattle.
The bluest skies you've ever seen are in Seattle, and the hills the greenest green in Seattle. Like a beautiful child growing up free and wild, full of hopes and full of fears, full of laughter, full of tears, full of dreams to last the years in Seattle. In Seattle.
Keep rolling, 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 though the streams are swollen. Keep them doggies rolling, right through rain and wind and weather, hell-bent for leather, wishing my gal was by my side. All the things I'm missing, good fiddles, love and kissing, are waiting at the end of my ride. Move 'em on, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, move 'em on, hit 'em up, rawhide. Cut 'em out, ride 'em in, cut 'em out, ride 'em in, rawhide.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta fazool, that's amore. When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you ain't dreaming, signore. Excuse me, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore.
Peppina, oh you little mouse, so won't you go away? Find yourself another house to run around and play. You scare my girl, you eat my cheese, you even drink my wine. I've tried so hard to catch you, but you trick me all the time. Ci stanno usure gilla, basciusella, redumur. Ogni sera che lei esce quando la casa è scura. In domenica da cucina balla solo su, ma parlano malandrine, pure la gatta s'ha paura. Peppino sulla cilla m'ha fatta scomparire, mannaggia sulla cilla a casa e nadai. Stasera in da cucina un po' che vino già la sa, e quando si imbriaca a Peppina già incappa.
Oh, why should any heart be filled with sadness? We should be gay. Oh my, the world shall all be filled with gladness in every way. A song can make most anybody happy, so let us sing
life and good and snappy, it's got the swing. Join the chorus, now's the time to start. Sing the chorus with a happy heart. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Do your little part. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
I know I'd go from rags to riches if you would only say you care. And though my pocket may be empty, I'd be a millionaire. My clothes may still be torn and tattered, but in my heart I'd be a king. Your love is all that ever matters. It's everything.
Ehi compare, ci vuoi suonare? Chi si suona un friscaletto? E come si suona un friscaletto? Un friscaletto e tipiti tipiti ta. Ehi compare, ci vuoi suonare? Chi si suona un saxofona? E come si suona un saxofona? Tu un saxofona. Un friscaletto tipiti tipiti ta. Ehi compare, ci vuoi suonare? Chi si suona un mandolino? E come si suona un mandolino? A pling un mandolino. Tu un saxofona. Un friscaletto tipiti tipiti ta.